Hello everyone. In this video I will teach you the concept of ActiveX data object means ADO.NET. How you can retrieve, insert, update and delete the data from the database in .NET application. So we are going to make one application where you can insert, update and delete the data from the database. So we are using SQL Server. So just connect and we are going to make one database. New query, create database. Database name employee detail. Execute. Now we are going to use this database. Use employee detail. Execute. Okay, now we are creating one table. Create table name emp detail column name emp id. Now data type integer. It is a primary key, so write down primary key not null. Then emp name it is varchar. Then give the size, suppose 15. Then salary. We are making one employee details database, so give integer. Just execute this. Oops, what is the error? What is this? Oh, sorry. Execute it. Then just we will go to just refresh this. Then employee detail. This is our database. Go inside the tables, then design mode. So this is our database, and I am going to make one .NET application where you can insert, update and delete the data from the database. So we are going to new project and just write down so here is our form. Then just design employee ID. Then write down employee name, salary, then to enter the value we have to take a text box control. So this is the text box Control C and Control V. Now we will set the name and text, sorry, only name, so that we can use in code behind easily. Text empid, then just take the name txt emp name, txt salary. Okay, now take 3 button for insert, update and delete. Okay, we have to insert, set both text and name. btn insert, Control C and Control V 2 times. btn delete, btn update, delete. Now I'm going to write down the code of insert the data. So we are going to use the namespace using system, oh sorry, using system dot data dot sql client. Okay, this namespace is used to access SQL Server database. So we have defined this namespace and we are going to make SQL connection class, SQL connection, SQL connection con is equal to new SQL connection. Now pass the connection string. So what is the connection string? Data source is equal to, just check what is my data source. Data source is the server name, so this is my data source. Just copy and paste here, and I have to give 2 backslashes because one is for escape character, that's why. Now initial catalog is equal to, this is the name of initial catalog, is the name of our database. What is the database? The database is this employee detail. Just copy this and paste there. Now user ID. So user ID is equal to, there is no user ID because we are using Windows authentication. Sorry, for Windows authentication there is no user ID and password, but for SQL Server authentication there is login and password. So we are using Windows authentication, so there is no user ID. Now password is also, there is no Now integrated security integrated security is equals to true, because for Windows authentication integrated security is true, and for SQL Server authentication integrated security is equal to false. SQL connection is used to make virtual bridge between the database and .NET application. So we are using this SQL connection. Okay, all these things defined in a string. Okay, so that you don't have any difficulty to watch. We are defining this globally. Okay, string constr const connection string equals to this, and pass this string inside this constr, sorry, constr. Okay, now what I am going to do, the user will give ID in this text box, and employee name in this text box, and salary in this. Then he will click insert, then the data should be inserted. What's happened if he doesn't give any value to this? Then there is a message box which will show please insert the value, means please insert the employee ID. So what I'm going to do, write down if txt empid dot text equals to null, then just do these things. Message box dot show enter employee ID. Okay, now empid dot focus, what this method does is this will take the cursor on employee ID. Okay, now again sorry, else if txt dot emp name dot text equals to null, then message box dot show enter employee name. txt emp name dot text, sorry, dot focus. Then else txt salary dot text equals to null, then just write down enter salary. Now if the user inserted all the data, then just write down one query, insert query. Insert into table name. What is our table name? This is our table name. Insert into table name. Give the column name EMP ID. What is the column name? We have to see. This is the EMP name. Salary values. Just pass anything. EMP comma @EMP name comma @EMP salary. Now make a constructor of SQL command. cmd is equal to new SQL command. Pass the arguments query and the object of connection. There is also written SQL connection object con. Okay, what is this SQL command class does? This class is used to execute SQL queries, and inside the constructor we will pass the query and the SQL connection object. Okay, now just add the parameters cmd.add with value, cmd.parameters.add with value. Just write down the values @EMP txt empid.text. Okay, now cmd.parameters.add with value. @EMP name comma txt empname.text. cmd.parameters.add with value. emp salary and write down txt salary.text. Okay, now what is this function does is it is used to assign the values into the parameters. Okay, we are inserting the data. So for inserting the data we are going to use connected architecture. In connected architecture there is a method execute non-query. Execute non-query is used for insert, update and delete. Okay, so for execute non-query method we have to open the connection. Okay, so I'm writing down con.open, then just write down int I equals to cmd dot execute non-query method. Okay, con dot close. Now what does this method, why does this method used? It is used to insert, update and delete query, and this execute non-query method returns integer value. If the integer value is greater than 0, means the row affected is successfully, and if it is equal to 0, means query executed is unsuccessful. Okay, so just write down if I is greater than 0, then the record inserted successfully. So message box dot show records updated successfully. Now just dot text is equal to null, because if the record is inserted successfully, then we have to delete all the data inside the text box. So we are going to write down this code: txt empname dot text is equal to null, txt salary dot text equals to null. Okay, if the value is not greater than 0, then it will go inside else part, and what will here we will show the message the record doesn't updated successfully. Okay, message box dot show not inserted. Okay, here we will write down here inserted, because we have to also work for update. So now this is our code. Now we will compile. Now just give the value 1, employee name Nehal Adam. Okay, salary is okay, insert. Integrated security, the spelling of integrated is wrong, there is mistake, sorry, not this. Now again just give some different record Nehal Ahmad, salary or record inserted successfully. Now we will see here is record inserted successfully. New query, select star asterisk from table name. Yeah, so insert command is working. Now what's happened if we will give here k? Okay, just see. We will give here any name and any salary. What's happened? There is exception. Okay, so what we have to do here, we have to write down try catch block. Okay, so where exception is generated here, try. Now catch block, catch exception ex just hide this. Message box dot show ex dot message dot to string. If there is any exception, then exception will go inside this block. Now we will write down one more block finally. If okay, what we are going to write in finally block, there might be a chance that the con.state is open, means the connection is open, so it will create insecurity to our application. So we have to check con.state equals to connection state dot open. Okay, if it will open, then con dot close. This will close the database. Now we are going to write down the update, how to update from our application, update the data from our application to the database. Okay, we are going to copy paste and write down simple lines of code. Okay, just copy this, paste here, and just change the query into what is the table name. Let me see, this is the table. Okay, set e, what is the column, I have to also see the column, emp name and salary. Okay, set emp name equals to @name and salary equals to @salary. Okay, where empid equals to @id. Now just do these things. Okay, just compile. No, what is the error? We are going to pass this whole thing. What I am going to do now, just delete this. Now just compile it. Now I'm going to update. Okay, just update. Employee name is, what is employee name? I don't remember names. Okay, just write down Sangram Mudali. Okay. 2,000 rupees. Must declare the scalar. Oh shit. Oh no no no. I'm so sorry for that. Oh shit. What is this? These things are making me angry. We have to pass whole these names. Okay. Uh, Here name. Salary. I'm again doing the same mistake. Then ID. Okay. Now to suppose we will first update here. Any name is Neha. She's. I will give English name. Come on. George DiCaprio. Write down salary 521. Insert. String or binary data would be truncated. The system has been terminated. Okay, I understand what is the error. No, because we have here we have defined the size is 15, and if we will give the size more than 15, then there is the exception. Okay, suppose we are going to update there, we are giving more than 15. Okay, then salary, this type of error will come, this type of exception. String or binary data would be truncated, the statement has been terminated. Okay, so we have to give less than 15 letters. So write down some John Abraham. Okay, insert, and I'm going to update that. 6 employee name Nehal, salary 9999. Emp ID is invalid column name. There is no emp ID column, I think. No, here is some error. Just give emp ID. Now everything is correct. Yeah, now there is, I hope there is no exception or error. Sorry, there may be exception but no error. Now I'm going to update. Record updated successfully. Okay, now I'm going to write down the code of delete. So just double click on delete button, and again we have only to do is copy paste and change the query. Okay, copy these things and paste here. We have to change here the query. Okay, write down the query, delete the table name. What is the table name? I have very weak memory, you know. emp name equals to @name, salary equals to @salary. Now where we use the condition where emp id equals to @id. Okay. This is the query. Now what I'm going to do here, we have to delete some stuff from delete query. Okay, suppose there is, if user will give id, then the data should be deleted. Okay, then we have to delete these things. Okay, if the data will give the employee id, then the data will be deleted. Okay, just give their semicolon and compile. Then we are, what are the data here? I have to see the data. Select a star from, what is this and what is this for? Okay, now there is 3 data, means emp id 2 4 6, so I'm going to delete 6. Okay, now I'm going to delete here 6. Just write down 6 and delete. Incorrect syntax, where is? Okay, I find the mistake. We have in update there is set keyword, in delete there is no set keyword, and we have to, this is incorrect query. Okay, delete from table name where emp id is equal to this, and we have to delete whole this stuff. Now there is a record, and we are going to delete 6. Just enter 6, delete. Now we again execute this. Okay, delete button is working correctly. Okay, now I'm going to show how to retrieve the data. Okay, right now we are using the SQL connection, and we have to open the connection again, close the connection. So this is the connected architecture. In connected architecture, suppose we have to insert, update and delete the data. In insert, update and delete, we use execute non-query method, this method. Okay, and if we have to select, means for retrieving the data, we will use execute scalar or execute reader method. What does execute scalar do? Execute scalar gives a scalar value, and execute reader do is it gives tabular data. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to retrieve the data. Okay, for that we need grid view control. Okay, data grid view, this control I need. And I'm going to write down the code. I'm going to use this in disconnected architecture. Okay, in ADO.NET there are 2 types of architecture. One is connected architecture. I've shown you the example of connected architecture. I have used execute non-query method, which is in connected architecture. Okay, in execute non-query method is used to update, insert and delete, and disconnected architecture is basically used for retrieving purpose. Okay, connected architecture is very faster process for executing query. But there is also a disadvantage for connected architecture. It creates insecurity if the database is in open state for larger period of time. To avoid this situation, we have to use sometimes disconnected architecture. So I'm going to show disconnected architecture. Disconnected architecture is secure because the transactions are performed with dataset and the database is in disconnected and closed state. So write down the query. Select a star from means asterisk from the table name. What is the this is the table name. Just copy and paste. SQL data adapter. I need SQL data adapter SQL data adapter, pass here query and connection object, query comma con. Okay, what this is, SQL data adapter is a class and we have defined this constructor and pass here parameterized parameter query and connection object. Okay, it represents bridge between dataset and database. Okay, now what is dataset? It is the Xerox copy of database. It is temporary database stored in XML format. Okay, we are using dataset class, making it constructor new dataset. Okay, da dot fill ds comma write down any alias name, data grid view. The name of the data grid view is data grid view 1. Okay, so dot data source equals to ds dot table this is the syntax employee now again compile it. Okay, what is the mistake here? We have to write down this code inside load event. Okay, write down this code in the load event so that it will load and give the, see, it is showing us the data. Now just give any one and give the salary 3432, insert it, inserted successful, then close. Again see what is the database. Okay, it is working. So in this tutorial we have learned how to insert, update and retrieve data from we have retrieved data in data grid view and we have retrieved the data in disconnected architecture, means here we haven't opened the state and closed the state.